Thank you, everyone. Thank you, David. David and I also spent some time in a classroom together at some time, and if he has any fame at all and any skill as a poet, and I understand from his numerous publications that that's the case, I take at least half the credit. So, hello. Thanks for coming out. I hope you're having fun. Having fun? Yeah. Hey! Yeah, good. Thank you. So, I'm going to be reading some poems from my book, Home Was Elsewhere, brought out by Quattro Books. And Alan Bremaster over there is one of the publishers, and also my editor, very demanding, but facilitating guy. So I'm going to dedicate my entire reading to the memory of the late Leonard Eliezer Joshua Cohen, who was born in Montreal but made his homes in many elsewheres, including in a monastery on the top of a mountain, and he died elsewhere, but he had himself sent home to be buried. It's a very gracious kind of gesture to gather yourself and all your resources and bring them back to your family, and I feel that. So I'm going to dedicate this particular love poem in praise of an older woman, nobody necessarily in this room, to his memory. Old and new, age has softened her as ivory. Warm and still, in passion, she lies like a desert blooming. Her little cries are the keening of fire and water spirits pent in the earth and yearning to mingle with the sky. So a major elsewhere in my life was when, as David mentioned, I was invited to teach in the poetics program that Allen Ginsberg was running in Boulder, and around the same time, our meditation teacher, Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, invited me to the mountains of New Hampshire to spend 3 months in his Buddhist seminary. And here are a couple of poems from that time. Skip the paper clip. Meditation, what's that like? It's like sitting on a blowtorch in the rain and the rainbow, while air drinks her lovely juices, and to yellow goes the green. It's like the Buddha sitting here, watching her mind fill with scene after scene of all the stupid things you and your friends ever did or said. 400 meditators bowing and scraping through orioke lunch. One stops chewing. Rain on the shrine tent. Yeah, thanks. Wow. Yeah. So, attracted by water and sunlight. Quick, forget the shrine tent. Cross the highway with me. Climb the snowy slope. Sit on the bridge dividing cold mountain stream from waterfall. Let your feet dangle in the air. Taste the fearless water. Rub it into your skin. Let essence of ice preserve the odors of your face. Stretch yourself on the bank and listen to water falling. It cleans the air of noise and jagged motion. On the highway below, 3 teachers stroll. You wave, they wave, and float out of sight. Press your face into the crotch of the hill. Smell the dead and living grasses, and let the ground beneath cry, "Mother, let me in." Leave your corpse to ravens and hawks. Let bones discuss matters of the heart with buried rocks. Let your tongue ring with the taste of gold. Across the bridge, 3 teachers appear, attracted by water on sunlight. The fat one aims his camera. Raise your head and smile. Click, click. We are famous. Thank you. Thank you. So the next poem happened over a few nights, about 2 weeks actually, in February. One February, while I was doing a 3-month solitary retreat a winter retreat in a cabin in the Rockies, spending 13 hours a day sitting on a cushion, and get this, visualizing myself as a naked, fiery red female, holding a cup of very intoxicating substance in one hand and weapons in the other hand. So watch out. It's called In the Lull of the Wind, I Think of Her. Fourth night of the waxing moon, I see it as my lady's neck ornament. The wind is weathered, tough and gnarled as a ponderosa root ripped from rock. It smashes this meditation hut that shudders like a heart, waiting and attentive. It is that my heart listens for in the lull of the wind, and I think of her. 10th night of the waxing moon, the poplar grove holds naked branches above bluish snow, and I think of her. Beyond there, one star, 2 owls hoot, a breeze soughs through the ponderosa, and I think of her. There is no payoff, just one blessed thing after another. Open the cabin door, heat and the smell of food. I think of her. Well, her presence haunted me for quite a while when I got back to town, down from the mountains after my retreat. And here are some poems about that. There is a lady. There is a lady lying north and south, with head, breast and thigh rising in the sun, massive as the bulge and thrust of foothills west of Boulder. I love her mostly in the mornings, when she's naked, open thighs sprawled in sleep, hip and rib cage taut, and her hair spread from Chautauqua to El Dorado. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Her. Trembling aspen hairs, quick tail of squirrel move in her. A slight wind, red tulips touch, and again touch. This world is big enough to be my lover. She forgets me. Tomorrow again, I'll see her everywhere, playing with distances. In less obvious ways, I continue to be haunted by her, whom I felt sometimes just not as a kind of visualization or association, but just as a kind of general loneliness or sense of absence. And that's, a lot like having the blues, by the way. And here are a couple of poems about that. It's all right now. It's after supper for the neighbors. The dog next door is sniffing evergreens. The black dog with white paws drops her haunches, pees in the grass, and tail up like a skunk, she waddles off to sniff the wire fence. 1,000 miles away, my children are doing homework. My lover won't see me till Saturday. It's getting darker. The wine in my glass is so low, the stem stares up at me like the pupil in a pink eye. The letter on the table, the yellow telephone are silent. Birds twitter, traffic roars, lights downtown come on. This room is starting to smell. Time to turn on the lights and make my supper. Yeah, thank you. I love the sound of that. It's almost like the sound of money. Like crinkle, crinkle, that sort of thing in a microphone. though I had a real girlfriend at the time, by the way, not just, trees and moons and mountains with, their tits sticking up to the sky. I had a real girlfriend, and I'm going to read you a poem and tell you how that went. It's called No Consolation. There are still wild horses in Colorado with shaggy coats the color of earth, and there are still hairy lavender flowers with hearts of gold closed against the rain. You are still in Colorado, probably trying too hard and crying, like the day I hugged you and said, it's like the whole earth. Our love affair did not go well, Janet. We could not Our love affair did not go well. We could not console each other, Janet. Tonight, I'm hugging myself in a car in Caledon, Ontario, smoking, watching the stars, watching the milkweed sway in the half moonlight, letting the wind soothe me. There is no consolation, Janet, not even hugging the whole earth. It's getting early now. My cigarette is finished. The birds are beginning to cheer themselves up. I'm going to get some sleep. Good morning, Janet. So now I have what's known in the musical business as a little intermezzo. When she went away, the blues came in and met me. That's about Janet. I remembered a time I had sat in a recording session with some real old-time bluesmen, Muddy Waters, Otis Spann, Sunnyland Slim, Sonny Terry, Brownie McGee, and Lightning Hopkins. And I remember some of the words they said. I remember Muddy said, we were talking about the blues is a mule loping through Texas. And I guess that means the blues will follow you no matter how far you run. And Lightning said, the blues jumped the rabbit. I take that to mean it's a predator. The blues are a predator, and it will catch you no matter how fast you run. And Sonny said the blues is a doctor. And I think that means instead of letting the blues chase you, you call the blues, like you call a doctor. And you get vaccinated with the blues, and they become your topic. Wounded junipers, bird song in the wide air, and on the fence a silent robin. Derelict line of snow survives in the shade of wounded junipers whispering together in the soft, hot sun. Thank you. Black spruce. Black spruce sway in the wind. I turn to them for solace because they never complain. White paper consoles me. On its surface, words appear like cricket chirps. When I think of your goodness, I burn and become restless. Meanwhile, what to do? When we are together, there is such a flowing. Then, what to do? I want you to understand that star-crossed lovers are the only kind. Love is out of this world. Now, in some sense, my spiritual teacher, Chögyam Trungpa, was my world, and here are a couple of poems about that. This is me in a very submissive mood. Now, I glimpsed the world as passing down a corridor. One hotel guest might see his neighbor donning red suspenders in a mirror. Who can rival the sun? Who can rival the sun when with one wiggle of his fat finger 1,000,000 flowers open themselves? And when he shows his winter face, 1,000,000 teardrops dressed in lace parachute into the city. Meeting the teacher. Some things never change, always change. Cricket song, for instance. Who you are. Cricket song is who you are. Some kind of continuity in my life. A thread running like a stallion through the patchwork of perceptions as these eyes, ears, noses, tongues, bodies, minds unfold our world. Who you are never changes. Your neck is pine tree. Back and shoulders are cliff. Your eyes are crows. The kindness in them lake, dark and inscrutable. You are the bright moon riding on water. You see everything simply. You are the nature of compassion. The doors of Terminal 1, Gate D arrivals open and shut. They are a mouth, a mind, a womb, a vulva. Images pass from that world to this one. We are satisfied. We wait for you, have eyes, ears, nose, etc., only for you. You are in the hands of customs. You are giving them a thorough going over. I think of you that way and enjoy waiting. Like the sun from behind a passing cloud, you are here. Thank you. Thank you. Root and trunk in steadiness. As songbirds in my garden instantly appear, brown, with head and breast ragged red, as though rinsed in blood, their song in my ears incomprehensible but clear, so will I instantly appear at your command, which in my ears is song. And though confusion may arise, like songbirds lost to me in midsummer lushness of a full-branched tree, I will abide in song and reddish flickers, as birds abide in leafy networks that harbor your command, until I'm root and trunk in steadiness, and your command may rest in me. So here's another intermezzo 2, a bit of a musical break, and a complete change of mood. This is a poem about a CD that came to me in the mail that I never asked for. It just showed up in the mail, and I listened to it. And this is how it goes, and this is for you. You'll recognize why. Okay, ready? Ready? Slid Myriad 3 into car CD. Opening tracks give space to the bass transected by drums. That cat on the keys, I feel his disease, laying down lines in fractured times, melodic and dis. Who is this? Could it be Chris Donnelly of the trio with brio? His original tunes trace monkish runes, bops over the tops of "Well, you needn't" and epistrophe, then tolls single notes, bobbing like boats on repetitive chords, laid down hypnagogic with new agey logic that rock into chaos with the allure of a magical mystery tour. You like that, eh? Bam! Thank you. That's my son, by the way. Yeah, okay. So I'd like to begin winding down the set with a couple of poems containing the color green. Not very different from the kind of thing Lois did. I'm glad we have that love of green things. And I'm also, these are in honor of the Earth Mother, sometimes known as Green Tara, if you know who she is. Green Devotion. Sheer mist and cloud, gown with light my mountain, whose beloved shape lingers in the freezing air, sharp as foreknowledge. A small wind stirs flame-like junipers. Fine naked twigs of dormant trees crackle like black lightning torn from the earth. 2 yellow candle stumps set in silver warm themselves in the sunlight on the table. Water in a glass vase is drawn up the neck in droplets towards the petals of carnation, some transparent, some drying at the edges. In the corner of the room, the stand of huge papyrus devours buckets of water and shows its green devotion to the sun. Okay, one more green and then we move to white.
Oh, you're not much time.
That's all right, I have all the time I need. Green letter of gratitude. Are you going to get that? Okay. It's okay, we have lots of time. The trees beyond my back porch are 8 different shades of green, including juniper, the silver maple, the blue spruce, the Russian olive, the honey locust, the trembling aspen, and the mountain ash. There is a stalk of wild grass by my front door that has the bearing of a knight in armor, and he is slightly funny, like Don Quixote. There is on Marpa Point a dwarf poplar that seems to thrust its chest out and scream like a Garuda. I have cut it down among flowers for you to see in Boulder. But where the road curves down towards encampment, there lies a dead gigantic tree with 3 huge limbs resembling dancers. When I think I cannot bring them to you for your Ikebana show, I feel sadness and great longing. So, thank you.
One more.
One more? That's it?
One more.
That's my limit?
Yeah.
I've reached my limit. Thank you. Okay. Good. The next one is 1 minute and 30 seconds. With a 12-second introduction. Got to be respectful, you know. It's like, this is it. Anyways, I'm going to close with a poem that is actually, so far, my ideal. If I was Frankie Lane, I'd sing it for you, but I'm not. It's about a woman I met during a 10-day meditation retreat on cleansing yourself and your mind by fire. Anyways, the point is, everything was white. The room, the clothing, the rice. And I fell in love with this woman named Mary, and she never gave me a tumble at all. She didn't even notice me. And that was all right then. And it's all right now. I learned my lesson well. You can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. Mary, oh no, that was, yeah, that's the garden party, right? That's the garden party. But this is Mary in white. Mary in white stands on the porch with sun on her back making a brilliance. Her long hair is clean, her arms are moving. She sits on the porch, resting her back, enjoying the brilliance. The wind is clean, Mary's fragrance is moving, the silence is white. She comes back clothed in brilliance, dress sheer and clean. Mary's body is moving and slender and white as she steps from the porch. She sweeps the floor clean. Whoa. Mary's body has got me. Mary's body is moving and slender and white as she steps from the porch. She rises in brilliance. Her gestures are clean, her lips barely moving in prayer to white. Mary bends on the porch and gathers up wood. She sweeps the floor clean. The hearth fire is moving. Mary's stockings are white. Through the door to the porch, she brings candles back, looks into their brilliance. Mary is moving. The rain is white. She reaches the porch and a voice calls her back. Her face is a brilliance. The wet earth is clean. Thank you very much.